Make pleasure your prayer. Make joy and play your job. And make radiance your brand. Let your leadership be the embodiment of love in motion. Now, this is how we rise. You were not born to chase. You were born to create. You were not meant to dim your lane. You were meant to illuminate. And the more you love yourself radically, truly, authentically, the more confident, radiant, and powerful you become. Because that's the secret of the Radiance Frequency. Welcome to The Rise Show, a podcast for highly driven and spiritual women with big ideas, dreams, and visions. Audacious women just like you, who are committed to their evolution and obsessed about all things personal growth, spirituality, manifestation, and feminine embodiment. I'm your host, Nathalie Banaszak, feminine success and branding coach, and I'm here to support you on your journey and path of expansion. I know you're ready for so much more. Permission granted to go for greatness, your wildest desires, and the most radiant and full expression of the brand called you. Are you ready? Let's begin. Warmly welcome, beautiful soul, to another episode of The Rise Show. So let's start with talking about what true radiance really is. The definition comes from the web. It says this: radiance is a light or heat as emitted or reflected by something. Radiance is a type of glowing, either from a light source, like the sun, or a healthy, beaming person. So what does radiance then mean in a person? The sun radiates lights, and bright objects that gives off light rays have a quality called radiance. The sun's radiance can be felt the strongest in the afternoon, and we use lights for the radiance. They brighten rooms and cities. Also, if someone, a person, is happy and healthy, we can talk about their radiance. A sign of radiance in a person is a wide smile, and a pregnant woman are often said to have a glow or radiance because they're so full of life. Now, how beautiful is that? Let's pause here to take this all in together for a second. When we talk about radiance, most people still think of an outer beauty. Maybe that's you. We'll see. Think about it. True radiance, though, it's not about how we look, because it starts with how we feel. Is that beautiful moment when a woman walks into a room and without saying a word, everything can feel her energy. You know what I mean? And this is not because she's loud or trying to. It's because she is so aligned. A radiant woman is unapologetically warm. She is like the sun. She leads with love and an open heart. She's not in the performing mode. She doesn't hide her softness and vulnerability. She lets it shine as her strength. And in a world that rewards hustle and control, that warmth becomes her quiet rebellion. It's like a secret weapon to deeper connections and more beauty and natural success. This woman leads gracefully, not by demanding attention, but by embodying it. And radiance is magnetic. Magnetism is power, the feminine kind. When you're radiant, you don't chase opportunities. You attract them. You naturally draw magic to you. You supercharge your manifestation powers. So let's break this gloriousness down. Radiance isn't about perfection, whatever that means. It is about charisma. It's about unlocking your power. It's not light that needs to perform. It's light that penetrates. A bold, confident, and radiant woman doesn't need to sparkle to be seen. She shines because she is. She's not afraid to be visible in her beauty, in her fullness. And it's a fullness that's soft, fierce, divine, happy, and human all at once. Because she knows that when she embodies all of herself and dare to express it, she becomes unstoppable. Radiance is, as I see it, the natural result of radical self-love, of full and unrestricted, authentic and vibrant self-expression. So I mean this, the kind that says, I do not abandon myself for acceptance. I do not dim my voice to be understood. I am love in motion, fierce, feminine, and free. Now, when a woman boldly stands firm in that truth, unapologetic, embodied, grounded in love, she doesn't chase power. She is power. And that energy, my love, is super attractor energy. So let's take this further and see what the web has to say. I Googled characteristics of a radiant woman just to see what Google has to add to my philosophy, what we're talking about here. So I got this. Radiant woman is someone who exudes a positive internal light that comes from divine confidence, joy, and vitality, which in turn affects those around her. This radiance isn't about superficial beauty, but stems from a deep sense of self-worth, presence, and happiness. It is often associated with being genuine, kind, empathetic, and confident, creating a magnetic and uplifting energy. So here are a couple of characteristics: internal joy and confidence. Her happiness is often a deep inner state rather than being dependent on circumstances. This inner confidence draws people to her. Presence and mindfulness. She is fully present in her life and in conversations, which makes others feel important, seen, loved, heard, appreciated. I'm adding some things up here to what Google said, but yes. She shows genuine interest in others. A radiant woman is often a good listener who asks thoughtful questions and makes people feel seen and valued again. And there is this gentleness and compassion. She may be admired for her gentle nature, especially in how she treats children, the elderly, or those who need her energy. And here we go. Authenticity. She embodies her living truth, and that includes her vulnerabilities, which means as well, no holding back from expressing the full emotional range. There's this positivity and warmth. Her energy is often described as uplifting, magnetic, and warm, and she can evoke feelings of joy and hope in others. And there is resilience and strength. She can be radiant even in the difficult times by drawing on an inner source of strength, whether that comes from within, her faith, or other personal beliefs. So yeah, I was pimping up this text as we were just talking. But to summarize, like, wow, I don't know about you, but for me, it sounds like an amazing and very beautiful personality, I think. And definitely a leader I'd love to follow. Would you agree? And radiance as well come in different shapes and forms. It's unique to how we express it. And this is how I see and teach the power of these as embodiments. Is the merge of this softness and unshakable feminine power, where self-love, confidence, and empowerment merge with pleasure, radiance, and feminine leadership. Now, this is a bold, embodied, radiant version of you. So next then, we definitely need to talk about what I call the pleasure principle, which is directly linked to the feminine frequency, radiance, and a new way to lead. So here's what I know for sure. And I want you to feel into this with me. How about this bold new thought? What if pleasure is not something that is only indulgent? It's intelligence. Pleasure is the power of presence. And the power of presence is something that's quite rare in the world that has quite a speedy tempo. It's the kind of power you can't just directly go into a store to buy. It's the power we build from within. So when a woman is turned on by her life, she becomes magnetic. Now, this is also bold and creative energy. It's like switching the light on in a dark room, just like that. So she starts attracting opportunities that match her higher energy. Because the universe responds to the frequency of joy, not stress. So how about making pleasure a priority? Think about it when you do something that gives you pleasure. And it can be anything. I mean, it can be anything from really taking the time to smell your cup of coffee. Enjoy it. It can be when you're driving to work or walking. Notice nature. When you're in a conversation, hold eye contact. Be there as a listener. It's such a gift. And it can be to observe beauty around you. I could just keep on going. Of course, there are like so many different aspects of pleasure, but I'm just inviting you to widen your concept of what it is. It's basically things that makes you happy. And pleasure comes in very many different forms. Here's the thing. Pleasure actually changes the chemistry in your body because it activates hormones. It's the same thing with beauty. It's the same thing when we do things that lights us up, that creates happiness. Your state, your vibration, your frequency shifts. So if you say that you're too busy, well, that signals a completely different energy, and it's the energy of lack. So when we choose pleasure, the world heals. Not as a rebellion, but as a revolution. Can it be that pleasure is actually an important key to sustainable success, to a leadership style that feels alive, magnetic, inspiring, not draining? Well, if you ask me, hell yes. And you're here, so I believe you think yes too. Let's just say that this is a big reason why women love working with me. I become their permission slip to go be something, to go do something they deeply long for. Not that they need mine or anyone else's permission, but it's a key that unlocks their own remembering. That's when you, we become the radiance frequency because of choice. It's one of the most revolutionary things a woman can do. It's really to make pleasure a priority, not as a luxury or would be nice to have more of, but instead, how about this? As a key component for well-being, as a key component for thriving, not surviving, and a key for leadership strategy. Because pleasure expands your nervous system's capacity to receive. Now, let me read this again so that you can let this sink in. Pleasure expands your nervous system's capacity to receive. When you are relaxed, open, and turned on by life, you become irresistible. You feel fantastic. And this is not just in a sexual tense when we're speaking about pleasure. We are talking about energetics here. So you stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with the divine. You trust, even so, divine timing. You open up your heart, and this means that you have clear channels to infinite receiving, which is most often a big, huge, massive success block for most women I've ever coached. I've experienced this firsthand myself. And this is just something that we need to work on if we choose to. It also means that you stop negotiating your worth. You stop shrinking to fit in rooms that can't hold your light. You start owning your value, your worth. And this means you start to magnetize the right clients, opportunities, money, not because you chase them, but because you're vibrating at a frequency where everything that wants to come to you, can find you. Again, this is what I call the feminine/radiance frequency. To take this further, imagine a space within where this power feels like peace, where success actually feels like softness, like it's the most natural thing in the world, where ambition feels like devotion because you're led and fueled from within. None of us rise by pushing harder. We rise by remembering who we are. Please remember this. Remember who you are. Then you will become a woman who leads with love and power, who walks with grace, where we rise not from over-controlling effort, trying to hold everything by ourselves, but from embodiment and a state of healthy receivership. So know that pleasure isn't a distraction. It's your power. Like in BAM, again, this is a power that takes over a whole room, street. We can take this concept as far as we want. So let's expand this talk with bringing in the concept of radical self-love. So when I speak about radical self-love, I'm having a serious conversation with you about this topic. It's so much more than just the cute little quote that says loving yourself a little bit more on Instagram or whatever, which, by the way, is a fantastic add-on. I'm all for quotes. But what I mean is that I'm talking about the deeper kind here. That means shedding old self-imposed limitations and belief systems that don't support you, that the kind that makes you walk away from anything that asks you to betray your higher self. So in this essence, radical self-love means that you commit to choosing inner peace over approval. It's saying no to anything that costs you your glow. It's believing that your desires, they're actually sacred and right for you. And from that new and higher level of love comes radical self-confidence. And the way I speak about confidence, it's not something that is even loud. It's an energy. It does not need to prove itself. It simply is. So when you merge that divine confidence with radical self-empowerment, you lead your life on your terms, by your design, not by default. So let's keep going. You stop asking for permission. You know that you are the one who gives yourself permission. You set the rules. You stop waiting for validation, and you consciously start creating the world you desire, one embodied and aligned decision at a time. Now, that's the woman I speak to, and I believe that she is you. It's us. And that's how we collectively can choose to rise higher together. It's not just a cliche. It holds power. So know that your presence is the most powerful thing. What is it that makes a person who enters the room to be noticed and memorable without saying a freaking word? This is where we can bring in the concept of magnetic, authentic branding and why it's so unique for women, why I love this work so much, because it's about remembering your energy, your vibration, your essence, and set the frequency that fits your higher vision. It's the most loving thing you can do for yourself, because authenticity is wild and free. And radical self-love and radical self-empowerment are the fundamentals for any woman who wants to be wildly empowered and who wants to live and lead a life, career, and a business that's nothing but a representation of all that you are. So there is much talk, and you hear me talking about frequency and energy and rise your vibration and all those things all the time. Like the context here is embodiment. How can we start to live in this frequency? How can we start to embody radiance? So do not be fooled. Keeping high vibration takes intentional work and is a daily practice. It's training yourself into new ways of being. As with all things, it starts with a commitment to change and evolution. Being intentional with who we choose to be. We need to demonstrate our new personality and the change we want to experience. So, how we do this through intentional identity creation and backing that identity up with aligned actions. So we adopt habits that support our vision so that we're making sure that we are every day moving in the right direction. And when I say the right direction, a direction that has not been chosen by someone else or an old norm that you might not even be aware of. You have chosen your path. So to summarize, this is an unlearning. It is an unbecoming. It's a conscious shift and upgrade to remember your feminine radiance because it lives within you. You just need to remove the barriers and heavy programming that's been blocking your glow because your glow holds your flow. So let me share 3 radiance rituals I practice. And I teach different embodiment practices, well, very personalized for each woman I work with. But to give you a few here that you can work on, and you can do this like now, today. So how about this? Pleasure before productivity. Like, wow, this is a radical concept. So what I mean is understand that pleasure will support your productivity because you will just be able to create from a whole other energy. So before you even open your laptop and get to work, open your heart, open your body, breathe, move, dance, play a song you love that makes you feel deliciously alive. Pause to notice beauty. Again, smell your cup of coffee. Put fresh flowers on your desk in your home, at your office. Make your environment and surroundings beautiful because beauty is a magnifier. So nourish yourself. For example, when you're eating, enjoy and savor your lunch compared to just throwing whatever into your body in front of the computer as fast as possible to get more stuff done. That's not how we do it here. Like, let your lunch, for example, let it be a moment of deep nourishment and a sensation. Make your food beautiful. You can practice intuitive and mindful eating as you're eating as well. And let's remember play and fun. Laugh. Like sometimes, when we're in this work of growth, to not take ourselves too seriously. And you're obviously hearing me laugh here. My God, like, hello, we want to have fun as we move towards our goals. Otherwise, like, yeah, what's the point if we're not just enjoying ourselves? So whatever it is that puts a smile on your face, that makes you feel alive, and give yourself moments of being spontaneous during the day, not just like, once every quarter. Do something that's out of routine. Try something that feels light and fun and fresh. And do not fall into the trap of being in a constant hurry to rush to be present during your day. You do have time to stop and notice something you appreciate everywhere. So the hack is appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. Then stop to appreciate more and notice what happens in your body. And celebrate your glow moments. Throughout the day, please make a habit out of closing your eyes, Take a deep, delicious breath in, smile, pause, and whisper or say out loud, depending on where you are. I am the attraction. I am feminine radiance. I stand in my full power as a woman. Now, wow, that's power. And do not just make these empty words, oh, I'm completed my task. Like, feel into the vibration that these powerful words hold. And even better, if you can say these words and affirmations out loud in front of the mirror as you're witnessing your gorgeous self. Yes, we need to celebrate ourselves and each other way more often. So please notice everything you accomplish. Don't just focus on all the things you have not yet get done. Do not fall into that trap either. Dwell in your glow moments and remember to feel them. And feel again the expansion of that expression. Because when you feel radiant, you attract radiant outcomes. So practice this feeling, practice celebration, practice building emotional awareness of a celebration, acknowledgement, and recognizing your own radiant self feels like in your body. And make it a conscious choice to lead with love and warmth. So how about this? When you leave your home, or starting when you actually step out of the bed, in every conversation with your family, with your team, your clients, well, your loved ones, be the one that infuses love, not as a weakness. Love is emotional intelligence at the highest level. And emotional intelligence is something we deeply need to tap into at a leadership level. So notice that your energy, your frequency has the power to change and uplift the environment, your surroundings, and it literally becomes things. That makes you a powerful creator. So you create more light when you show up with that overflowing love and light. When you move through your day from that space of being, you'll notice, oh, people respond differently. Wow, this comes effortlessly. Money flows very differently because you've entered the radiance frequency. For pleasure, productivity, and power, yes, get to coexist. Just a few small notes here. So start here. Have fun with it. And I invite you to go back and just pause here, rewind, listen to what I just said. And if it feels right, if it resonates, start now, start today. Bring more of the radiance frequency into your everyday life and notice what happened. And I also, as always, want to highlight radiance does not mean we are on top of the game all the time. Radiance can still be an energy that you live in as you move through emotions that might be challenging. So this is not about just being a beaming sun all the freaking time. Radiance is this deep resonance and remembrance of who you truly are. A radiant woman, she is not afraid to hold emotions. She feels all the feels, but she's very aware what's just self-old limiting beliefs and sabotaging behaviors versus an energy and beliefs and thoughts and emotions she gets to choose because she adores the radiance frequency. And who doesn't? It feels good because it's what's natural to you, me, and us. So to summarize, radiance, one of my favorite words. A radiant woman is a magnetic woman, and a magnetic woman doesn't wake up trying to prove herself. She simply remembers who she is. Again, which means she knows that her energy is her currency. She knows that her emotions are creative power. And she knows that her warmth is her superpower, not a weakness. She leads with unapologetic love and light. And there is zero shrinking going on here, by the way. She creates from overflow, not obligation or I should do this. And her presence, not her direct productivity, is what truly inspires others. Like, Who doesn't want to be around a woman and a friend like that? What a role model, what a leadership style to bring that energy into how we actually engage with other people, whether that might be, during work hours, depending on your occupation, or wherever you go. This is what I mean when I say be your brand, be your authentic brand essence 24 hours. It's the essence of who you are. So imagine then being the one who walks into a space and everyone just exhales because you carry an energy of peace, ease, love, not pressure. And you get to be the permission slip for others to come home to themselves too. So remember, please, that when we are talking about unapologetic feminine power, it doesn't need to be loud. In fact, it isn't. It does not need to control and dominate at all. Doesn't even need to compete with others. Why? Authenticity doesn't need competition. It's quiet confidence that comes from knowing these 3 essential truths. I am enough. I am whole. I am complete. Remembering that you are the source and everything I desire and love is already drawn to my energy. Imagine if you would hold that as your innate truth in your body and being. So when you are in this place of embodiment, when you are present, you lead without trying. Your frequency does the talking. That's the future of embodied feminine leadership. This is as well a key component of my mission and the work I'm here to do and contribute to the world. So this new feminine leadership style, it's not about managing people. It's about magnetizing them. It's not about forcing outcomes. It's about flowing in alignment. And as I see it, the future of holistic and sustainable leadership simply cannot be the over-masculine paradigm we've been programmed to be. Look at the numbers of women, people who are burning out all over the world from the hustle culture. How can we believe that that is how we want to model leadership? So here's how I describe a new narrative for the embodied feminine leader. It's all about heart coherence. It's about embodied integration and congruence. It's the woman who leads with her heart and her fire equally. It's a frequency that consists of a masterful blend of both masculine and feminine energy. We can hold both sensitivity and softness and incredible strength in the same breath. Who doesn't collapse when things get hard? Because she's anchored in her pleasure, her truth, her resilience, and her devotion to leading with intention and being led. So that's what I mean when I say lead with pleasure, attract with power. Power does not mean control or playing God. That becomes a very heavy duty. Power simply means allowing yourself to feel and be infinitely supported and to operate from that belief system. Power then means the courage to follow your intuition when logic says otherwise. And radiance? Again, it's simply the frequency of women who remember who they are, who refuse to shrink and apologize for it, who have the audacity to show up for their innermost selves over and over and over again. It's a forever work. It's an adventure. It's an exploration. And it's an exploration of your, mine, our full expression of the truth. And it's trusting that this is your unique path to your purpose, your inner calling. I believe that this is the state that activates our most powerful leadership in a way that creates way more powerful impact in the world, your corner of the world. We all have unique causes we deeply care for. And this I know for sure. The world needs your brightest lights. It needs you to burn bright, not burning out. So to sum up this episode, my invitation is grand, but it's quite simple, and you'll love it. How about this? Make pleasure your prayer, make joy and play your job, and make radiance your brand. Let your leadership be the embodiment of love in motion. Now, this is how we rise. You were not born to chase. You were born to create. You were not meant to dim your light. You were meant to illuminate. And the more you love yourself radically, truly, authentically, the more confident, radiant, and powerful you become. Because that's the secret of the radiance frequency. And remember that throughout the day, repeat, my presence is my power. Because when you radiate, you live lighter. You lead effortlessly. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Rise Show. If this message deeply resonates with you and activated something in you, share it with a friend, with a sister. Share it on socials, on Instagram, or wherever you hang out the most. Tag me and tell me, the world, what you're ready to embody next. It's been said before, and I'm saying it again because it holds such a great truth. When you give yourself permission to shine bold and bright, you naturally become a trailblazer for other women who are rising too. And we truly grow by elevating each other. So until next time, stay radiant, stay magnetic, and remember who you truly are. If you loved this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you get updates anytime I post a new episode. And if you're feeling extra generous, go ahead and share this with a sister you know needs to hear this message and leave a review. It would mean so much, as I love to envision a world with more feminine, embodied leaders. If you're looking to further grow, evolve, and expand your life and business, connect with me on Instagram and sign up for my Rise newsletter. Get ready to receive special announcements, inspiration, high vibe self-empowerment, tips, hacks, and tools on how to become the woman you most want to be right into your inbox. Link in the show notes. Until next time, have a gorgeous week.